Hey guys, what is up? This is Max Diaz Media once again, continuing on with my review of The Last of Us TV series with Season 2, Episode 3. Yes, back in the closet again, because there is still a crazy amount of roof work going on throughout my apartment complex, so I have to be back in here, but hopefully they'll be finished with it soon, where I can go back to reviewing the series in the regular part of where I do videos, obviously. But anyways, with Season 2, Episode 3, Ellie is devastated after the 3 months have passed since her loss of Joel, which, yes, is a spoiler, but it's been a week since the last episode, so I'm comfortable with talking about it now. Because of that, she wants to get revenge. Though she doesn't admit that during a specific scene during counseling, but we all know deep down she devastatingly wants revenge after the loss of Joel, who was like a father figure to her. Pretty much she was throughout the past 5 years of protecting her, even though we all know she would have saved the world had it not been for Joel's lie and his selfishness. But regardless, continuing on, we all know how devastating it was to see Pedro Pascal get killed off, but it's something that us fans of the game, or people who have played the game, knew what was going to happen. And what I really like the most about this episode is how it expands more on the aftermath of his passing, having us connect more with Ellie as we connect with her loss, because us as the viewer were devastated as well, seeing Pedro Pascal as Joel get the axe, or in this case, the stick of a golf club. Like I mentioned before, when I reviewed the previous episode, I didn't really feel like when it came to the build-up, it was as shocking. Mainly when it came to the game, I thought it was, I mentioned it more in my review of the previous episode, but with this episode, I really appreciate how they expand more on the aftermath and just, not going immediately of Ellie going after Abby and her friends, because we know that's going to happen later on. Because we didn't know entirely how this was going to fully play out. Was it going to do more familiarities to the game, or is it going to do stuff on its own, which I definitely expect it to do more stuff on its own rather than, just being fully shot for shot, which, yeah, that's mostly how it's been, because it's something that we expect, because that's exactly what the first season had, but they did it absolutely beautifully. And there are some stuff to this show that I feel like does do a little bit more justice than in the games, and that's saying something, because the first game is one of my all-time favorites. But with the second game, there is definitely things in that game that I think have been done better. But with this, I really appreciate how they're still adding in more to making it into a TV show. And with this third episode, it has all that I could have wanted from, the aftermath of Joel's passing. From Ellie's performance, Bella Ramsey's performance as Ellie, how she's just there in the room at his house, and it was truly powerful. It shows that these actors have been putting in so much dedication, and they are all excellent. And we see more of her connection with Dina, as we do get a scene of mentioning the aftermath of their kiss during the New Year's Eve dance, which, yeah, is something that happened in the game before Joel died, but, it does tend to have its changes of having certain scenes play out differently, during specific orders. But yeah, there's also a scene during counseling where Ellie tries to bring people together to bring in more of that justice, which, yeah, I know I'm spoiling here, but it's at this point where I don't really mind spoiling much, because this is more of a discussion rather than a review. But in terms of what I thought, I like this episode more than the previous one. And the way it concludes definitely has me looking forward to what the next episode will play out, because I pretty much know where it's going to go from here, because Ellie and Dina, they get to Seattle, and I expect more of their relationship in this episode, or in the next episode. But right here, I dug the relationship here, and in terms of, this being more of a build-up, and there are often times where, you could say it's a bit more filler, just due to the fact that it's focusing more on the aftermath of Joel's death. But I still think it really manages to pay off. Tommy is devastated. He even has a line that I thought was very powerful and really was a great callback to the previous season and the entire franchise as a whole. And in the end, I still think it's starting to pick back up to where the second episode I thought was decent, but when it came to that build up towards the end, while phenomenal acting, I just felt like it was a bit underwhelming, but I can tend to look past that. And the fact that, we're going to have to get used to the series not having Pedro Pascal, it's going to be devastating, especially for ones who didn't know about the second game. But hey, I expected it, and, nonetheless, all these actors, they're fantastic. I'm looking forward to seeing what continues on. So all in all, I really enjoyed this episode a little bit more than the last one. So yeah, let's see where this goes from here. But yeah, anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like and maybe subscribe for more. You can also follow me on Twitter or maybe Instagram or maybe Blue Sky. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Word out.